All right, so a little football's finest
I got
here.
the spins.
I see from DeMarvion Overshown, he's added about 13 pounds.
Yes.
And that's one of the names that everybody's most excited about coming into this season because it looks like
I thought it was Luke Schoonmaker.
No, everybody is out. We're all out on Schoonmaker except for you and Bobby Belt.
I'm on Schoonmaker.
But he's added the 13 pounds, and we'll see how he fits into this Mike Zimmer defense. I know you're bullish on what Mike Zimmer's going to bring to the table here defensively.
I'm hopeful.
And I know that Eric Kendricks was talking, the new addition at the linebacker spot who has experience in the Zimmer defense. He's talking about there are some tweaks to this defense. It's not exactly copy and paste to what it's always been, and I think that's encouraging because, hey, the ever-evolving NFL and the way offenses are attacking you, Zimmer can't just go dip back into his 2004 playbook and bust out a defense here. So all that being encouraging here. But DeMarvion Overshown up 13 pounds off the ACL. That makes sense. Probably couldn't do much running around, so you're just doing a lot of upper body lifting and calorie consuming. Then he'll probably shed a little weight once you get into training camp. But Overshown is definitely somebody that we're fired up for.
Absolutely.
And the fit in the defense, right?
Last year he was the one guy that, he plays 6 preseason plays in the game and has got 3 tackles. He was always going to be around the ball. They thought that they could do a lot with him. They had some plans. He was a converted safety. So some things they could have done in coverage. I would have been fascinated to see him play an entire season, but hopefully it won't be one of these deals where, all these guys that are coming back from knee injuries, it's like week 7, week 8, you and I are like talking about it in a pregame show, and we go, man, it'd be nice if Overshown, it'd be nice if Pollard had one of those games, or Terrence Steele would be nice. All those guys that got there, Gallup, every one of them.
Yeah, you never know off an injury.
And let me tell you what, they rehabbed, those guys rehabbed well. It's just getting them going, getting them going the right way was a little bit of a problem.
Your good buddy Sean Payton in Denver describes his quarterback room. He's got he says they're all orphan dogs. They've all come from somewhere, and people are alleging that he's intentionally trying to build the single worst quarterback room in football history with signing Zach Wilson, bringing in Bo Nix. That's as disgusting as it gets. But I'm sure they read that and they're just feeling super respected by their head man. Orphan dogs, they've all come from somewhere.
They're all somewhere.
If you want Sean Payton's thoughts on his quarterback room, you did that, Sean. You did that to yourself, bro. We'll see which one pays off for you. We played some sound of Dan Campbell earlier in his presser, but one of the things he was asked about is this year for the Lions Super Bowl or bust. And he says, I don't see bust. I see Super Bowl. I don't even know what bust is.
Oh,
so there's no busting in Detroit this year, according to Dan Campbell.
Yeah,
and if you're a Detroit Lions fan, I don't know if you're meeting that with confidence, but I think the Jordan Love situation that's brewing with these Packers, and we saw that firsthand in the playoffs. I think Jordan Love is about to be one of these super stud quarterbacks. He's got the play caller for it with Matt LaFleur, and when you go and look, I saw Warren Sharp putting out some of his metrics on quarterbacks, and Jordan Love, the way he closed out that season was just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah,
and
Dallas
so
caught him at a bad time.
That's going to be a fun division there with Detroit clearly being a dominant roster.
Everybody's thinking Minnesota's going to make a big jump, even with their quarterback.
With McCarthy?
Yeah. There's people I was watching, whether you believe these shows on ESPN, maybe that's my problem, but they were talking about coach that can make the biggest jump or team to make the biggest jump. Minnesota Vikings was up on their list.
One of the weird stories last year in football that we have not gotten an answer to is what happened to Stetson Bennett with the Rams. He just kind of disappeared.
Yeah, he did.
And they let him get a year off basically, and no one really understood why. McVay was never really given any details on it.
Class?
I have no idea. Yeah, he did. He went 6 college years with no graduation. Is that what he did?
Yeah.
I haven't seen any graduation photos of Stetson, but apparently he's back at Rams camp and all is well, and he's rejuvenated, and everything's good. I've just never seen a team bring a guy in and then say, you can just be away from the team for a year, get yourself together, come back, and we're not going to have a single leak. No leakage on, there hasn't been a single report this is what happened to Stetson Bennett, the same guy who was urinating in front of a doorstep here locally in Dallas.
Yeah, party guy, right?
Party guy, yeah.
Probably went and got some help.
Any guy who goes 6 university years without graduating, Probably party guy.
What are you saying there?
I'm saying he's probably a party guy. You can connect the dots, and then next thing you know, he's got no diploma and he's urinating on the doorstep of a random apartment here in Dallas.
But we welcome him back with the Rams, right?
Yeah, absolutely. After a year of getting yourself together, but he's back and apparently better than ever. So all things looking up for Stetson Bennett right now. I saw, we have the new NCAA football game coming out.
Do we?
And the college coaches are lending some voice to just what it can mean for them. Because I saw a quote here from the Aggie football coach, Mike Elko.
Yeah.
And
came from Duke.
Yes. Now, one of the things that he recalls from being at Duke and just with the new college football video game coming out and what that does to a team, he says, in full disclosure, because I've been a part of this before, you can't imagine how much the release of a hot new video game can impact your football team. He says, I remember going all the way back to when the second Call of Duty came out, and it got released in October in the middle of one of our football seasons. We literally were having meetings with our defense about why it was not good to stay up until 4 a.m. playing Call of Duty. We had practice at 7 o'clock the next morning.
Yeah.
These college kids, dude. And now you're playing with yourself. This is one of the ultimate dreams that any athlete gets to have. You have a video game and you are in it.
Yeah.
These college players upon release are going to be all over this video game, and they're going to be up into the wee hours of the morning. I guess you'd rather them up in the wee hours of the morning just playing video games.
One of my favorite things ever, talking about an athlete in the video games, Des Bryant. You ever see the clip where they asked him about playing Madden, and they asked him, do you throw the ball to you a lot? And he goes, every play.
Of course he does. Why wouldn't he?
He threw the ball to himself every single play. And nobody else had a reception. It was all going to Des Bryant. Good for him.
That's on brand for any wide receiver.
Yeah.
I imagine any star wide receiver plays exactly that way.
Yeah.
Because why wouldn't you?
Yeah, just throw the ball to me every single play.
He's like, what else are you going to do? Throw it to Alan Hearns or something?
No.
He's like, no, I'm going to throw it to myself every single time. I'll be throwing up the X here. And he dominates, dude. Des Bryant he plays online, and he's just smoking kids all across the world there.
He will go on X and challenge people. Who wants to take this, who wants to take this smoke, that kind of thing.
Were your college days filled with video gaming? Was there any of that in your college
Win or
LSU
lose,
heydays?
No, we were out all the time. We never.
You were just Mardi Gras Brian for 4 years?
I was the first guy. How about this? I was the first guy that had a beta machine.
Sorry?
Beta? Like tapes?
Betamax. You never heard of a Betamax,
Never
sir?
heard of a Betamax?
Ooh, maybe I've heard the term, but I'm not. I couldn't tell you what it is.
It was the opposite. It was the higher end of the VHS, but it was beta tapes is what we had. Yeah, we were
more of an alpha tape guy myself.
Yeah, but it was funny because I had it all hooked up in my room and all that. We used to watch that. That was what we did.
So this is like pre-VCR?
Pretty much.
Wow. You're just doing movie nights with the boys?
Movie nights, we're just getting tapes. Yeah. There weren't many tapes
They still called them the talking pictures, too. When
Yeah. You
want to watch some talking pictures in my room, man?
Talking pictures? I've never even heard that
The
phrase
talkies.
before.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
There he is, folks. The LSU Tigers. Take a look at them. The Tigers.
The year was 1926.
I got a football game for you guys to play. Lucius, you jump in here on this one, okay? I have who is the which guy is older here? I have a football age game for you, and let's see.
Stetson Bennett.
Let's see if you can get these right. Yeah, Stetson Bennett's he's close to 30, as close to 30 as any second-year NFL player's ever been.
Yeah.
Here we go. We'll start with an easy one. Who is younger, Ezekiel Elliott or Calvin Ridley?
Calvin Ridley.
Lucius.
Yeah, I'm going with Calvin.
Ezekiel Elliott is younger than Calvin Ridley.
Is he?
Some of these should surprise you a little bit. Who is younger?
Billionaire.
Kyle Pitts or Michael Penix? The new rookie
Michael
quarterback.
Penix.
Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts is.
Michael Penix.
Kyle Pitts, who's
Jeez.
going into year 3 in Atlanta, is younger than his new rookie quarterback, Michael Penix.
I knew that one, yeah.
Jeez.
Who's younger? Brandon Cooks or Dak Prescott?
Brandon Cooks.
Well, now that you ask it, I'm going to say Dak.
Brandon Cooks is younger than Dak Prescott.
You know what?
Even though he's been in the league for, it feels like forever. He's been on 50 teams.
Yeah.
Brandon Cooks being younger. These are all surprising. Curtis Samuel, is he older or younger than his now new quarterback in Buffalo, Josh Allen?
I'm going to say he is older.
It's got to be.
Curtis Samuel is younger than Josh Allen.
No way.
These are all shocking to me. Pat Thorman tweeted this out the other day. These are all shocking to me. I can't believe it. I believe Gronk is also actually younger than Travis Kelce.
That makes sense.
It doesn't make sense. None of this makes sense. But there's your little football game today. Since you hit us with your billionaire bowler game and I got smoked in it, I figured I'd put your feet to the fire a little bit.
How many did you get right? Like 2?
I think I got 2.
3? I think you got 3 right, maybe.
Not my wheelhouse, bowling or billionairing.
No.
I can't do either one of those things.